Right, good morning. Let's see what this traffic is going to be like getting into work during the school holidays. I'm not taking the motorway because I can't stand it. This is Paisley Town Centre, and this road I'm going on to is called Glasgow Road, which becomes Paisley Road West, and if you just keep going in a straight line it takes you all the way into Glasgow. However, right, I'm going as far as Herland Street, which is at Bellahouston Park, where the Police Scotland, the road policing headquarters are, I think. Anyway, that's where I jump onto the motorway, get M74, takes me to Palmadee, and into work. Jolly exciting, I know, you just can't beat this type of content, can you? I mean, who needs to watch people riding through the Middle East or around the world when you can watch me commute to work? Just come on this morning, it's just really a wee update. I haven't been on for what seems like ages. I could sit behind that cab. I'm going to get in front of it because I can. No other reason. There's one in front. Yeah, I just thought I'd pop on and give you a wee hello. There you go. Done. See you later. No, I'm not kidding. Yes. Sorry, right, where do I start? Where do I start? So the channel, RTG, a life journey. It hasn't half been a journey. It's really, I was looking back at some videos in the past few days. It's quite amazing to look back at. You know, a lot of firsts. The first video I ever made, which I remember doing it. I remember going out on the bike and going down to Erskine Beach because I wanted a quiet place to stand and talk to. That was a horrific time in my life. And then July 2024, through the channel I met Big Gordon and we went our first trip. For me, I was taking the tent, so I had already attempted to do the NC 500 in early 2024. I couldn't do it. I got to John O'Groats. I slept at Dornoch the first night, slept at John O'Groats the second night. And I say slept, I use that term very loosely because I didn't sleep. I had nightmares, I was emotionally wrecked and missing Sarah, something awful, and I decided to give up and went home, even though my sister and my brother-in-law were there with us. I just couldn't handle it. I came home, regrouped, decided to go a wee camping trip on my own down to Castle Bay, which is down near Port Patrick, which was one of Sarah's favourite places to go. We used to go to Sands of Luce, but they don't take tents. And that was the first trip I had with Gordon, who accompanied me down to Girvan. And we have had a close friendship ever since. It's been amazing. And we were just talking about that the other night because Gordon, I think, was away out and about at the weekend. We were away to Edinburgh Comic Con and he was out and about and he sent me a wee video from Dunure. And I thought, God, that was the first trip we went away. So went from that. I did the NC 500 again. This time my sister and my brother-in-law came with me and my cousin and my good friend Josh all the way came up from Portsmouth and his massive big Victory hammer, and we did that, and that was quite an experience. But that was a bittersweet kind of experience because I had people with me, great company. We admittedly had a great laugh there, and at night time when I went to bed and I was on my own, that's when all the sort of darkness crept in, and that's when the financial strain was starting to hit as well. So I was at the point where I was in a panic and I was borrowing money off my sister to tide me by. But that was late July 2024. Come on, really? And then into August, started plodding on, and I think I was probably at the absolute depths of my journey. I had pretty much made up my mind after coming back from the NC500 that I didn't want to live any longer, and I had to find a way to deal with that, and my way of dealing with that was a big bottle of liquid morphine that still had. Kept it as a backup. And that was heading into August. That was a really bad time, but I kept waking up every day thinking that I needed to get things done, and that kind of forced me to continue every day. I was always an excuse to get up and fight, but I couldn't see a way out. I couldn't see a way out of the financial strain. I just thought I was ruined. Late August, that's when Charlotte contacted me, and we started having conversations. She knew nothing about Sarah. Naturally, she was devastated for me, and we started striking up conversations. And it was like once a week to start with. We would have a wee message, but then obviously it got a lot more, and we started talking about all our past, the near romance we had 20 years ago, and reminiscing, and that helped to take my mind off things a wee bit. And she helped me through all the dark thoughts and all that horrible stuff, and that was done via video calls, and the rest, as they say, is history. So by February 2025, Charlotte was over here in Scotland. She decided that moving from Sweden was always going to be a bit of a challenge, although it was much less of a challenge than she thought, but the timelines were kind of forced upon her. Business sold, and it was like, need to move. So whether we liked it or not, we were moving in together, but fortunately it's been amazing, and it always will be. So I'm very lucky in that respect. So we started going out and bike. Charlotte discovered she absolutely loves being on the back of the motorbike. She started coming to the football with me. I was a season ticket holder for St Mirren, my home team. St Mirren were my escape, going to the football at weekends or riding the bike, and she absolutely loves both. So she got quite addicted to the bike, and is always desperate and keen to get out a ride, and absolutely desperate and keen to go to the football. So I couldn't have asked for more there, could I really? So we did that. We went to football, we went biking trips, introduced her to Gordon, but I'd already spoken to Gordon about her in private, and given him a kind of idea of what was going on in my life and my mind, and sought a lot of advice from the big lad. Gordon was always good for giving good words of wisdom, and Charlotte came out on her first bike trip on New Year's Day 2025, when she was over having a visit, and loved it, and that was it. Never looked back. So I had sold Sarah and I's caravan and car in summer last year, again too much of an expense, and then Charlotte came over, and with a bit of help we managed to get ourselves a 20-year-old caravan, which she nicknames Luna because it's a lunar caravan, and we absolutely love it. And we bought an old Land Rover. We had a tiny bit of funds available. We needed a car, and we needed a big car, because towing is a bit of a nightmare unless you've got something that's decently beefy. We got Lola. She likes to name things. Actually, the other way about, we got that before the caravan, but with the intention of it. So yeah, and we've obviously started caravanning, and she's discovered she loves that as well. So it's like all the amazing things that I loved doing, I am getting to relive my life doing these things again, because I am lucky enough that I've had a woman come into my life, oh my goodness, I suppose, that loves all the very same things, and that's wonderful. The only disappointing thing from when I was with Sarah is she never ever came to a St Mirren game. It always annoyed me. She was a Sheffield Wednesday girl. She was daft in Sheffield Wednesday Football Club and never entertained St Mirren, which is a bit annoying because that was my team. And then near the end she said, oh, she'll start coming to games, but that was a bit silly to say that, because obviously she knew what was happening. We all knew it was happening. I'm going to cheat my way through these lights here, if I can. Okay, that wasn't the best move, Craigie boy, but got stuck in outside because of that wee car there. But I'm safe. I never caused anybody any harm. Give him a wee wave. And this year has been a mixture of fun bike trips. I miss going bike trips with Big Man, so hopefully we'll get that sorted. I'm very doubtful we'll get any this year now, because we're very, very quickly getting through October. But you know, plenty of plans for next year. Charlotte and I have got big plans for next year. Obviously 99% of everything is financially dependent, so we've got to wait and see how that goes. But the problem we've got now, and part of the reason I'm on here having this chat, is what to do in the channel, content. One of the things I love doing, and one of the things I don't need the bike or the caravan to do, is podcasts. Getting interesting people in and chatting about things, and the channel still has an element of focus on positive mental health. We've all got stories to tell, I'm sure you know that. Everybody's got a story, whether it's grief, mental health, everything. Everybody's got a story to tell. And quite often it's good to hear other people talking about their own situation, because it can inspire other people that may be suffering. And that's all I ever aimed to do with this channel when I started it. I never actually come on this morning to really have a reflection in the last couple of years. It's just come on to tell you I'm a bit scunnered. And at this kind of crossroads here, and I'm sure people don't want to see this boring commute into work every morning or evening, but it's all I've got at the moment. We're going away with the caravan to Loch Lomond in November for a weekend, Friday night to Sunday morning, so literally get to spend Friday night and plus one whole Saturday. If the weather's absolutely pissing from the heavens, it doesn't matter, because we're just lumbering away. If it's not, then I'll take the drone and I'll get some beautiful footage of Loch Lomond. I've got another channel, CJW Media, and that was the channel I first put up to showcase drone footage. I worked hard and spent a lot of years as a commercial drone operator, full authorisation, and the full, had to go and set a practical flight test and all that kind of bump, and but it was all client work, so I really didn't have a way of showing my own work, so I decided to start a channel and pop some, I would go and find places of interest, places that I loved, and I'd pop drone footage up there. Out of curiosity, just talking about media, I've got the camera set without what's the word I'm looking for? Sound isolation to isolate the background, because it gives a weird sort of noise. And what I wanted to see is I want to be able to sound clear, but want to hear the bike. You hear the ambience around us. Because I think the big boxer twin, people call them a tractor, but I love the big deep notes of the boxer twin engine. I'm going to come off here very gingerly. I'm going to go straight to the outside. So I am looking probably to get back into that sort of thing. And this line's empty, fabulous. Car boot sale at Paul day today, so it's usually busy. It's been a great ride in this morning, isn't it? Anyway, right, so back into that, and this channel started off as Riding Through Grief, because it was all about my beloved bike as a tool to help me deal with the day-to-day life after losing someone. And it was amazing. It really did help, and it allowed me to meet people at Gordon, and I've met loads of other lovely people, and become friends with some fellow YouTubers and stuff like that are also bikers. But I've got so many more things in life that I love doing. So changing the channel to a life journey seemed more appropriate, because, well, it is exactly what it is. It's my life journey from loss, suffering, grief, trauma, to building my life back up again and seeing how it goes. And I said the reason for that is to try and potentially show others some light that you know, it could happen to you. Good things can happen even after such a traumatic event. Now, I still suffer from traumatic images of Sarah's last moments, nightmares. I don't know what to call them through the day, but I still get images that creep unwanted into my mind. I was talking to Charlotte about it not long ago, and so we're looking at options which include CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, which is a kind of brain training type thing. And Charlotte's been really good at helping me sort of being able to discuss these things, but the fact that she's there to listen, understand, and is pretty incredible. As I say, I'm very lucky that way. But here we are, we're in October 2025, life is completely different. Still loving my bike, loving the caravan, loving the adventures, starting to enjoy photography again, and despite my motivational issues right now, of trying to find content for the channel or think about what to put up there, I will continue. I was going to chuck it, but no, you're stuck with me, I'm afraid. But I'm in work now, so I must shoot, and I will catch up with you all later.